Let me ask you something. If you rocked up to the beach today and saw 1 to 2 foot small onshore waves, would you go out? Well, I would think probably not. But I'm here to tell you that if you're wanting to progress your surfing, then you should go out. We're going to discuss the range of benefits that you get from surfing small waves today.
If you're new here, make sure you subscribe to the channel because this is Lesson of the Week, a show where we release 2 very straight videos twice a week about surfing and helping you progress. So make sure you subscribe now.
All right, let's go.
I suppose growing up in Adelaide, you kind of have to get used to small, junky, less than ideal waves, hey?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, if you don't, then you're not going to surf very often.
Well, that's the thing, and I think it can definitely be turned into an advantage to progression as opposed to a hindrance. And there are certainly some surfers out there who have done that and gone on to become some of the best in the world.
That's right. And who are we thinking?
Kelly Slater.
Yeah.
Grew up in Florida.
Yep. Notorious for small average waves.
Yeah. So let's delve into why surfing less than ideal waves, even average waves, can actually be good for your surfing.
So we believe that there's 3 main skill sets that you can develop more by surfing small waves.
Number 1, wave selection.
Wave selection is important regardless of whether you're surfing good waves or bad waves. But the thing about wave selection in poor waves is that there's no room to move. If you make a bad call, you catch a bad wave, you're not going to be able to do a turn, and it's going to result in frustration. Compare that to a day where there are good waves. It doesn't really matter as much if you do make a mistake because often the wave's big enough that it will still have enough power and generally provide enough sections that you can have a good time. So it's crucial that when you're surfing small waves that you pick only the best waves possible because that will ensure that you have the best surf and be able to practice more maneuvers. Even on this day where Kayla and I looked at the beach and we really didn't want to go out, the surf looked terrible. But even amongst that, there were still a few good waves out there. And these waves allowed for good maneuvers to be performed and practiced.
You know what I love about surfing small waves is that it teaches you how to generate speed.
Absolutely, because if you try and surf small waves without speed, you're not going to be able to do a turn.
So we understand that speed is a crucial part of good surfing, especially in bad waves. So let's have a look at this example of Kale now. So in this example, Kale identified that he had to go back to the power source. So you can see that he changed the angle of his board to where the power source was. Notice how there's that bollier section. From here, he then generates speed by putting the weight onto his toes and making the board go up to the top of the wave because that's where the power is. He then goes back down to the bottom of the wave and he's going to repeat the process. Back to the top and then he'll ride back down, much like on a skate ramp. From here, he then sets up to perform his maneuver. Also note how when Kale goes up to the top of the wave, his body extends, and as he goes down the wave, he compresses. In this example here, we see a slightly less aggressive approach in regards to generating speed. Because this wave was short, he just angled his board up to the top of the wave and then rode it back down. Again, using that skate ramp analogy, you know, as you ride down a ramp or down a hill, you gain momentum. So by positioning yourself on a wave from the top where the power is to the bottom will help you generate speed.
Once you've got that speed though, you've got to be wise in how you spend it. We've talked about the idea of speed points before, and I think it's really important to touch on that again today.
For sure. I mean, the simple thing is that if you use all your speed points too soon on one maneuver, you're not going to be able to continue along the wave.
So when we talk about free surfing, there are no rules. You can approach a wave however you like. You could race along a whole wave just to do a big hit at the end if you wanted to. You don't have to surf top to bottom along a wave, much like a competitive surfer would. However, we recommend that you practice surfing top to bottom because it helps with flow and it looks much better. In small waves, this is particularly difficult due to the lack of power that these waves produce. Also, the consequences are higher if you perform the wrong maneuver in the wrong section, because you'll either get caught behind or you'll lose all your speed. Performing maneuvers like a roundhouse cutback allow you to hold your speed, but they also allow you to generate speed because as you hit the foam, you get slingshotted into the oncoming section. Compare that to a maneuver like a reverse, where you use all of your speed points to perform the maneuver. Your maneuver selection also comes down to the section that you're presented with. As we've mentioned before, bollier, steeper sections produce more critical, better looking turns. So these are the sections that we're looking for. Even in small waves and even on a day like today, these sections did exist. So it's important to look for these and then try and perform your maneuvers on the steeper, more critical sections. Not only do they look better, but they also give you more speed as you ride out of them, allowing you to link your turns together.
There's a really good book called Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell, and in that book he identified a really interesting factor in terms of a lot of really successful people's training and lives and development. He found that a lot of these people had 10,000 hours of practice under their belt. And I suppose if we're interested in doing that and applying that in our surfing careers, then we actually shouldn't be too fussy.
Yeah, because if you're going to be too fussy and drive past those days when the surf's less than desirable, you're only hindering your own performance gains.
I've had some shocking surfs, I'm not gonna lie. I've paddled out and I've regretted it. But I think the point is to have a really positive mindset about average surf.
For sure, and it's not just the surfing that you're actually doing when you're up and riding, it's getting in the paddling fitness, more wave selection development, and
Speed, power, flow.
yeah, that's it.
So transitioning from small waves to bigger, better waves is easier because you don't have to work so hard for speed. So it's worth investing time and energy into mastering small wave surfing. Regardless of the size and quality of these waves, they still allow you to practice your body positioning and technique of your maneuvers.
Thanks for watching the video today, guys. We hope that now you understand why you should surf when it's less than desirable, and hopefully we've given you a little bit more motivation to get out there.
Yeah, the next time it's 2 or 3 foot and onshore, make sure you stop the car, have a look, and try and find some waves. If you've enjoyed this video, guys, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, let us know in the comments below what else you want to see, and join us on Instagram as well, at Cal's Broccoli, at Rice Surfs. We will see you on the next episode.
Guys, if you want to stay up to date with what boards we're riding and the gear that we're using, you can see all of that in the video description below. I'll catch you in the surf, guys. I'm out of here.
Something like this one.
On the waves, then looking